Hey, Chadley, do you remember on when The Rock said that he loves his favorite type of pie is poontang pie on national television?
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for that guy to be president.
Yeah, this podcast is kind of like that. Anyway, welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast.
This is the third annual Liam Neeson-isode.
Yeah, we do it whenever he makes a couple of films, and guess what? We made a couple films in 2016, so we're gonna talk
Turns
about
out
those.
Liam Neeson makes movies all the fucking time, so we can just do these episodes quite
Turns out,
frequently.
turns out this guy's working. Dude's
Yeah,
working.
I remember one time when we first did the first Liam Neeson episode,
Mhm.
two movies came out roughly around. I think they were a few months apart, but we were like, oh shit, those are both new enough that we can do a Liam Neeson episode. And I remember thinking to myself, like, there's no way he's ever gonna release two movies that close together again so that we can do this type of episode. And he just keeps doing it.
Well, the man works, and then
He's
they get released
he's just
around the same
working.
time, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. It must be like a strategy. It's like, you know how like there's Oscar movies, there's also Neeson movies.
New season.
Yeah, it's the knee season.
It's beautiful. So guess what, everybody? It's Oscar season. So let's talk about good movies for once.
We're on the freeway to the Oscars. And
freeway to the Oscars, coined by the Movie Epidemic podcast. So if you ever hear anybody talking about the freeway to the Oscars, just remember that came from us. So
yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing: is that like I am so excited because like 2016 was such a real actually as a movie lover, it was a really tough year. Because like I just had like so many people because like I post my reviews publicly like on my Facebook and shit, and I just had so many people just start to like tell me like, hey, like you've just become so overwhelmingly negative about movies, and I'm excited to love movies again. Like I want to love movies again, and I'm hoping 2017 helps me do that. And that's why I love Oscar season so much, is because I get to use this show to gush about the reason that I got into movies in the first place, is that sometimes they're pretty fucking good.
yeah, Chadley likes Oscar season because he's a white male who likes bland, shitty movies about biopics, basically like shitty biopics. So welcome
Absolutely.
to
And I watch top 10 video game lists on YouTube because I'm self-indulgent piece of shit.
yeah. Chadley likes shitty, bland music. I mean, I'm not like 2016. I do agree was a bad year for film. Although I think there was a lot of good movies this year. I just don't like the sheer amount felt.
I just don't know if a lot would be the term that I would use. Like it seemed like there was less than 8 good films this year. Like it just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you haven't seen them.
Yeah, I mean, we're heading into Oscar season and we're about to see all
I
the
can
really
think of
good
about
stuff.
5 more you haven't seen yet that are fucking perfect movies that came out this year.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we're going to be watching them. I really want to see The Handmaiden, but that might have to wait.
You'll love The Handmaiden. That's a guarantee.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see that shit. So essentially, as we head into Oscar season, we actually just got the Oscar nominations yesterday morning at fucking okay. So like I was looking at like I wanted to see when the Oscars the Oscar nominations were going to be announced because I wanted to, watch it live or whatever. And I looked on the Oscar website and they're like, yeah, the Oscar nominations are going to be announced at 5:18 a.m. And it's like, okay, first of all, too early. I'm a working man. I'm not going to get up at 5:18 a.m. Second of all, why is it 18? Why is it so hyper specific? Why can't it be like 5 a.m.? Why can't it be 5:30? Like, just do it then. Why is it gotta be 18?
I thought there was like a live stream. Wasn't that later in the day? Or
there was a live stream at like the 5 a.m. mark. I just didn't watch it because I'm not getting up that early.
I don't know. What is that 5 a.m.?
I think it was Eastern,
Pacific?
Pacific time. So it would have been, I don't know, 6:18 here, or would have been 4. I don't know. I can't count.
It would have been 6:18 here, but East Coast, I'm sure. I mean, that seems weird, right? Because it comes out of the West Coast, so like make it like fucking 8 or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who cares? What you saw you've seen them. You've seen the noms. I'm sure you've all seen the noms. We don't care. Basically,
they're 100% exactly what I thought they were going to be. There was no surprises this year.
I mean, La La Land's
no Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah, fucking La La Land's gonna win. It's Titanicing this year, And I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be best movie of the year good.
Well, it's a gimmick movie, right? So you got to give them that. Make a gimmick movie and people love it. I don't
know though. Like
having Ryan Gosling singing is not a good choice. I just don't think that's a good choice.
I've seen gimmick movies win circa The Artist.
Sure.
I've also seen gimmick movies lose. Avatar. Like so it's gonna vary. Like they could spotlight the shit out of us this year and be like, just kidding, here's the worst movie nominated winning Best Picture.
Well, it's like I don't see any
Hell or High Water winner.
Yeah, why is that? We're gonna have to investigate that because to me that seemed like another Western where you couldn't understand what Jeff Bridges was saying. So
we also live in a world where Trumpo is president and Michael Shannon has been nominated for an Oscar. So let's get ready to jump off some bridges, ladies and gentlemen.
People adore Michael Shannon though. I think the only thing that is going to come close is Manchester by the Sea, because that was my original pick for the year. But now it might get original screenplay. I don't know. We'll see.
Moonlight is the one that's sort of tiptoeing. But we're going to be talking about Moonlight a little bit later on.
Right. Yeah.
Moonlight seems to be the only one that's sort of tiptoeing between that and La La Land. Those seem to be the ones that are. It looks like
I would say Manchester is would outfoot Moonlight personally, but
you think so? Yeah. I don't know. It seems to me likely that it's either gonna be La La Land or perhaps Moonlight. But we'll talk about Moonlight a little bit later on. This is an episode where we want to pay homage to a man who has done some very shitty movies. But like, here's the thing is that we're doing later on in the episode, we're doing a Liam Neeson top 5 draft. We've done top 5.
We're doing the Neeson fantasy draft, everybody.
Yeah, so essentially we're just going to talk about 10 movies, and Buck LeDuke is going to start. He's going to get one pick for the best Liam Neeson movie, and then I get to pick 2 movies that we talk about, and then he gets to pick a movie. It's sort of like a top 5, but we're fucking around. We're fucking around hard. But like,
dude, I was changing up the format occasionally. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. But like,
I'll post it on Letterboxd. I'll get people to decide who has the better list, and then that's how we'll pick who goes next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing though, is that like I was putting together like what would potentially be my picks for the draft. Yeah. And like I realized something that Liam Neeson fellow been in like so many good movies. Like a ridiculous amount of good movies. And I haven't even seen like that I've never seen that Woody Allen movie that he was in, but I heard that's really good.
That's good too. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen
Husband.
I haven't seen I feel like I have seen a lot of Woody Allen's catalog, but like there's just so fucking many, man.
Yo, dude, there's like I think he's got 90 now. Many. There's more Woody Allen movies than there is episodes of One Piece.
More episodes than this show for sure.
Yeah. Easily. Maybe even double. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I've also before we go into the draft too, I've also never seen the movie Kinsey. I watched the first like 5 minutes of it, and it was just Liam Neeson saying "cunt" in a room, and I was like, ooh, I think I'm out. But I've actually heard it's very good.
Really good. It's one of my favorites. I'll be scooping it up.
Yeah,
late.
You don't have to worry about me, Scott. Yeah, it's a late round pick. I've never seen it, so you don't have to worry about that. But what do we want to start with? Liam Neeson did 2 movies this year, both of which we're going to be talking about today. One is called A Monster Calls, and the one is called Silence. That's a Scorsese film.
Let's talk Silence. Let's talk Silence.
Let's talk Silence. Okay, so Silence is the new Martin Scorsese film. It's Liam Neeson going back to his roots. I don't know if you know this about Liam Neeson, but the first film he was ever in, what was it called? The Pilgrim something, but he played Jesus in it. It was the first movie he's ever in. He played Jesus, going back to his religious roots. This is a heavily religious movie.
Sure. I mean, it's but it's the kind that's not like overtly.
Yeah, it's not pushing religion.
It's not like when we watch the fucking God's Not Dead movies. This is a completely different animal.
This is a motion picture, whereas God's Not Dead 2 is
propaganda film. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
that's correct.
This one is not propaganda. It doesn't push you to believe in Christianity. It just is about Christianity.
Yeah. Interesting casting in this one, in my opinion. You got
Yeah, I'd like to talk about some of the casting in this
sure,
movie.
because when it comes to Scorsese, like he usually picks like, I mean, he's usually more respectful than I think the casting went down in this one, because you have Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver. Let's just start there, playing a couple of
Okay.
1-2 Portuguese priests doing Portuguese accents.
Hey,
That's my first.
all right. We'll start there. Okay. First of all, Andrew Garfield. I think the Amazing Spider-Man series ending was the best thing that ever happened to Hollywood. Because Andrew Garfield, that dude, that kid can fucking act. That kid he's so good. I've heard he's even better in Hacksaw Ridge, which we will be talking about.
He is better in Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, I've heard he's even better in that. And like, that's crazy because like, I never thought I would say this. And of course, I don't want to give too many spoilers because in a few weeks we are going to be doing our top 5 male performances. But so far, Andrew Garfield in this movie is the best performance I've seen all year. What happened this year? Why is Andrew Garfield the best actor on the planet all of a sudden? He just Bryan Cranston
it's
this
crazy
shit.
because in both movies he does just an insane accent. Like no one should ever have that accent, and like somehow he pulls it off. Adam Driver, on the other hand, don't think he really pulls it off. The thing about Adam Driver, when I look at him, I'm like, hey, this dude 40 or is he 14? Can't really tell. He's a weird looking motherfucker.
I know that a lot of people are really pro Adam Driver, and like especially since like
it's Adam Driver.
Hi, I'm Adam Driver, and I'm very excited to be here today.
This is
hanging out with Martin Scorsese.
You want to just do Adam Driver impressions for a bit?
Dude, I got a tweet about this the other day. People are like, we love when you do impressions and or sing. And I'm like, well, those are also my favorite bits that we do. So
I also love when Adam Driver, like you can tell his character is getting slightly frustrated and he starts elongating words. Like he'll be like, I don't want to be here right now.
Oh, I can't wait till we watch Patterson on this, because I've
heard he's super good.
Oh, it's so Adam Driver, dude. It's just ridiculous. It's just him like,
is it an Adam Driver driver?
Yeah, he drives a bus. It's real weird.
Adam Driver. So Andrew Garfield, fucking amazing. Adam Driver, not so much.
Yeah.
He's kind of lackluster in this movie, Adam Driver, personally.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, don't even got to speak for the man.
Oh, he's perfect.
He's fucking amazing. Has 20 lines. 20 lines in this film. Yeah, the movie starts off strong. It starts off Liam Neeson. He's narrating the movie, and you're like, "Oh shit, yes!" And
you're
then
like, "Oh, this is going to be a Neeson movie."
Yeah, and that's
going into this. I thought this was a Neeson movie.
Because have you seen the poster? Because the poster is just Liam Neeson.
Yeah, picture Neeson, right?
It's just fucking Liam Neeson in the garb, and you're like, "Oh, this is a Neeson flick through and through."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, then you have Neeson. I thought he was gonna be in it a lot. He's not really, especially because, okay, look, Martin Scorsese. Let's talk about everything that he does right in this movie. Sure. Visuals, so fucking amazing. Beautiful. It all takes place in the 1600s on like the Japanese countryside.
It's great. Not filmed in Japan, actually.
Was it not actually
filmed in Taipei? Yeah, it wasn't filmed in Japan. But it looks like Japan.
It looks really pretty. Yeah, it looks really pretty. So it takes place in the countryside of Japan as these two priests come in to try and save a priest that they have heard through the grapevine has abandoned his faith and
denounced
his religion essentially and become a Buddhist. It's Liam Neeson plays the priest who denounces his religion, and I won't say whether or not he does or does not, but he is in the end of the movie. In case, because when I was watching this movie, about 30 minutes in, I was like, oh, you know what? I bet you that's all for Liam Neeson. I bet you that's it for Liam Neeson. And then he shows up near the end of the movie, and you're like, oh shit, yeah.
Oh
shit, yeah, that's pretty good.
Fucking hell yeah.
Dude, he's Qui-Gon Jinning the shit out of it too. Like he's sure as shit Qui-Gon Jinning this movie.
He was looking good.
Yeah,
Neeson
absolutely.
always is
He
looking
looked
good.
he looked young. Like he looked young
Yeah,
in this movie.
Mad young.
I don't know if they younged him up, but like I think the ponytail works well for Liam Neeson.
I like pony. I
Um,
like the Neeson in a pony. I think that's
Yeah.
a good look. I think if he does Taken 4, get him in a pony.
I think Liam Neeson is really good in this movie. I don't think he's great. I think I've seen Liam Neeson do better.
Yeah, but
he-
again, it's this material which has been
Yeah.
jostling around in Scorsese's head since the 70s. It's interesting that it finally came through, and like it feels like it came together quite quickly. Like once the ball actually got rolling, because what Adam Driver and Andrew Garfield are in this. What? Why?
Oh, who made that decision? Good choice, but who made it? You know, like
it's a little strange. Those guys have been on quite the streak recently. So it's like something that he struggled for so long to get made. All of a sudden they're like, "Hey, Scorsese, you just want to make this now?" And he's like, "Yes, let's do it in a weekend."
There was one character in this movie as well. He's like the overseer of all the Buddhist church.
Super weird Japanese guy.
Yeah, that guy is fucking good. That is a good
so
actor.
good. He was like he's like every creepy Japanese guy you see in fucking like anime or whatever.
So Japanese as hell. Yeah.
Just the perfect just the perfect scumbag Japanese guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, like this is a
the
very
concubines. We love the concubines. I was laughing my ass off.
Well, we've been talking about performances, and even cinematography since we started talking about this movie. But there is one thing I do want to get out of the way. I really like this movie. This is a good movie.
I think it's very good. I don't think it's the strongest Scorsese movie or just anything like that. But I think it is, like, as far as late career goes, like I think this is a fine addition.
Absolutely.
Scorsese canon, you know.
Yeah. The screenplay is very well crafted, with the exception of one thing, and that is, it's the old Scorsese curse. Scorsese can't make a movie that is an acceptable length, which is fine most of the time, but this one kind of drags.
Yeah, it does. The thing about Scorsese is I know he's a true artist because he's made fucking 10 3-hour movies in a row, just because he does not give a shit about your time. He doesn't care about your time. He does not respect your time. He does not respect my time. He does not respect your time. He doesn't respect anybody's time. He's going to make whatever the fuck he wants. And if it's 3 hours, okay, it's 3 hours. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's 3 fucking hours. Yeah, it's really long, and I honestly, for the most part, like if you watch Casino, it's like, yeah, like, that kind of had to be 3 hours. You watch Goodfellas, you're like, I had to be. But I watch Silence, and I'm like,
where I think it's different. Whereas Casino has a strong 3-act structure, whereas this is a little bit different, in my opinion. It feels like there's like a short first act, and then this very long middle part, and then a really short third act.
Yeah, the third act, they sort of launch into the third act. And then, like, before you know it, the movie is over. The movie ended really quickly, too. Like, it felt kind of rushed. Like, as if they were like, oh, shit, you know, we're 2 hours and 30 minutes into this shit. We got to wrap it up.
I might have been able to do, like, another, like, 20 minutes of Andrew Garfield after he met Liam Neeson, you know? Because, like, I feel like it was a little too quick after that.
A lot of what makes this movie really good, too, though, is that, like, it's very historically accurate, in the fact that, like, this is a very interesting story that I've never seen told. This is an accurate story, though. This is something that actually happened, like, right, in Japan, and it's super interesting. And I've never seen this story be told.
Well, I mean, it is a fairly popular book, which is why Martin Scorsese wanted to adapt it. And there has been there was an adaptation of it in the 70s, I think, but I've never seen that. So.
The crazy thing is like I'm going back to like religious movies that came out this year. It's like, you take a look at God's Not Dead, and that is about like these Christians who are crying about Christian discrimination in 2016, and then you're like, okay, look, there was a real time when Christians were discriminated against, and like they would murder people because they were Christians, whereas like now you're just unhappy because there's too many atheists. It's like, what?
They said hell on The Simpsons, Chadley. Better
Oh,
boycott
shit.
that.
Yeah. It's just like they Christians nowadays they go fucking wild about anything. It's like, hey, look at Christians in the 1600s. They legit had it pretty tough.
It
was-
wasn't great.
that was
It wasn't
rough.
it wasn't a great life choice, man. But that was back when you needed, you needed a little something to get by because it fucking sucked, dude. I wouldn't want to live then. Now, what do I need God for? I fucking, my house is warm. I got abundance of
Netflix.
food. Got Netflix. Money's easy to get. I got so much money. It's so easy to get. You just fucking ask people for it, basically.
Yeah, I actually had a guy come up to my window in fucking traffic. I was driving my car and somebody comes up to me at a red light and knocks on my window. And I'm like, are you fucking me right now? Are you fucking me right now?
Hey, man.
Yeah,
I'm
and he's
I'm
like-
outside of a bar just trying to have a smoke. If you come up to me asking for change,
You can get fucking socked.
you can get a sock full of nickels upside your head, son.
That's how you get a good sock in right there.
Look, if I'm walking out of a shawarma place, maybe I have like a toonie. Well, maybe I got a couple of dollar bills in my pocket. Maybe.
Silence is another thing that I do want to mention about Silence, because we haven't mentioned it yet, and it's actually the most impressive part about Silence, is that the sound design is so good. It's so good, and that comes from the fact that the movie has no score. No score. Not a score in sight. This shit relies on fucking ambiance and sound effects. That's unreal.
Which, interestingly enough, this movie didn't do well at the Oscars, right? It got a cinematography nod, and
Did it get audio design? I didn't check, but it should have.
I don't think it did. I think it just got the cinematography.
That's preposterous. That's absolutely preposterous bullshit. I tell you what.
You know what's interesting though? It's very possible that Suicide Squad could win an Oscar.
Yeah, dude. What's it nominated for? Like makeup or something?
Yeah, makeup and hair. There's Star Trek, Suicide Squad, and something else.
You throw Joker into a movie and they're like, I got to give that one makeup, and it's like, yeah, don't gotta though.
Here's to hoping that Star Trek Beyond wins that one for the fucking white lady or whatever. But it might go to
no
Suicide
doubt.
Squad. That's what's crazy.
So I think Martin Scorsese has brought us a fine addition to his filmography. If you ask me to do a top 5 Scorsese though, I don't know if this one would make it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it is
I don't
good.
know if
I don't have anything like negative to say about it. It's just it is quite long.
Yeah.
It is. The thing with Scorsese
it's
flicks
longer
is getting into it, that's an evening commitment. Like if you're gonna watch Goodfellas, you're like, I'm gonna make a 4-course meal. And we're gonna watch Goodfellas because that movie's about eating Italian food basically. And
Yeah, you gotta have you have to have so much food to watch Goodfellas because they
you gotta have a
all
couple
the time.
courses of pasta. Yeah.
Every scene, like Joe Pesci is like talking through like knuckles of fucking pizza and spaghetti and shit. Like it's insane.
Funny like a clown.
Funny how? Did you know that scene was fucking improvised? Did you know that?
Pesci's the best, dude.
Yeah, George. Hey, throw Joe Pesci into. Hey, Martin Scorsese, where was Joe Pesci in Silence?
Yeah, what the fuck was he in there?
I could have done with some comedic relief.
I would have loved to see Pesci.
Eddie DeVito in there. I don't care at this point.
I would have loved to see fucking Pesci yelling at a Japanese fucking Buddhist priest. That would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this movie is very good. I don't think it's perfect. But I'd say Silence is good. But here's the thing. Silence was unfortunately not the best film that Liam Neeson was in this year.
Okay.
Because
that's interesting. I see where you're going with this.
he was also in a film called A Monster Calls. Now, I could tell just from watching this movie, you were not going to like it nearly as much as me.
Sure. Yeah, this is
a
very Chadley movie.
Yeah, absolutely. This movie totes exactly to me. This is a fucking Chadley ass movie.
Same reason I didn't like the BFG. Too much whimsy for me, bitch. Too much whimsy.
You know what? I thought that like the whimsy in this movie. Okay, we're launching into A Monster Calls now with Sigourney Weaver, Felicity Jones.
Oh yeah, hey, Sigourney Weaver, not British, so Let's figure
And
that
of course,
out.
yeah, okay, yeah, that is one thing I was going to bring up. But
Look,
the
I think
incomparable.
I also
mean,
think this like it's Oscar season, right? We're talking about good movies. I also don't think this is a bad movie. I think this is a great movie, but God point out some flaws here. Hey, Sigourney Weaver, not fucking British.
not British. Yeah, I agree. The Sigourney Weaver British accent is weak. And
But
that
I don't
comes from the fact-
understand. There's so many great British actresses.
I know you could have
And
got.
Sigourney Weaver. Why?
That felt to me. That felt to me like that was a role that was meant for Emma Thompson, and they couldn't get her. So they're like, who else? Who else could we get? It's like Sigourney Weaver, and it's like, whoa, okay, well, let's think about this.
Sigourney
think about this
Weaver's
for a
here
moment.
shooting something with Matt LeBlanc. Let's see what she wants. But that's crazy that Matt LeBlanc lives in fucking England, right? Like,
Well, yeah, because he does that BBC show.
yeah, but that's not the
Episodes.
reason he lives there. He does that show because he lived there.
Dude, I fucking love that show.
A good show.
That show's
Episodes
fucking
ain't bad.
Yeah. Episode's pretty good. The episode where he gets fired from Pucks is unreal. Hey, have you ever?
Yeah.
Are you aware of? Are you aware of IGN? The website IGN. They're a bunch of
Internet Gaming Network. Is that what?
Yeah, they're a bunch of. They started off just doing gaming stuff, and now they do like TV stuff and movie stuff as well. But recently they did recently. Okay, before we get into Monster Calls, I just want to talk about this real quick because I saw this today and was like buffaloed. Recently, they did a top 100 greatest TV shows of all time, and sitting at number 17 was The Cosby Show. Oh, what?
Yikes!
I would refrain. I would quickly refrain from doing that because that movie that TV show is almost exclusively starring a man with druggy McRape hands. I wouldn't.
Well, I mean,
wouldn't throw
it is the question, right? Because it is a fairly good sitcom as far as sitcoms go. So I mean,
I think in this
you
day and age,
completely wipe it away. Like you can't put Annie Hall on a list. Was that what you're?
No, because Annie Hall, that's different because
How is it
Bill
different?
Cosby. Because okay, look, Woody Allen married his daughter. Okay, kind of skeevy. Bill Cosby.
I mean, they weren't
used his
related, so
power-
I mean, it's kind of okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of okay. Bill Cosby used his fame to become a serial rapist.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, I see where you're going with
And
this.
he raped most of the people who fucking were on that show. Like, it's just it's preposterous. Can't. I wouldn't
Rudy.
fucking touch
Okay. Let's talk
Here's
about
the thing,
monster
is it like-
calls. Did you
you
just
throw
think
Mike
of this
Tyson-
because you heard the word monster? Like,
I don't remember why I thought I was looking at this today, and I remember talking to my brother with it. I thought it was preposterous.
okay, here's the thing about this IGN rant here, Chadley. We don't care.
we don't give a shit.
You know what?
Hey,
you know
IGN,
it's one
you're
website
not
I
true.
do not give a shit about, Chadley. Probably IGN. Probably IGN. Or give me a fucking give me a fucking any website. Give me some fucking. I don't even know. I don't even have a good. I don't use websites, so it's like it's tough. I just
You don't read journalistic material.
nah. I just don't see the point. It's all fake news.
Okay, I see. There's no such thing as real news anymore. Donald Trump will tell you that it's all fake news, and he's right.
I get all of my news from a very inside source, which is why I know that Kevin O'Leary will be winning the prime minister's, and I do know that The Rock will be running in 2020. These are from very good sources.
Well, I
inside,
also
and,
know that all that's correct. Yeah, that's all correct.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah. So let's talk about a Monster Calls. So essentially, if you watch trailers for this movie, it kind of looks like a kids movie.
which
Don't
is
take your
interesting
kids to this.
because it's
Yeah.
not a kids movie, but also, I mean, a little simple for adults.
You think so? I don't know. I like.
think so.
I think that this movie really perfectly displays the complexity of human nature. I don't think there's anything simple about human nature, especially near the end of the movie when you realize that the kid just like the movie is about a kid whose mom has cancer, and it's basically the kid creates an imaginary friend, the monster, as portrayed by the incomparable Liam Neeson. He creates an imaginary friend to help cope with his mother's cancer.
Sure. The sultry tones of Liam Neeson.
The sultry, yeah. Oh, dude, Liam Neeson's voice with the fucking Iron Giant Vin Diesel effect on it, I was loving it.
A little hard to hear.
I was,
my opinion.
yeah. You didn't like it, dude? I was loving it.
No, I liked it, but it's like, well, I don't know what the fuck he's saying half the time. But I guess that's part of the charm. Fucking imaginary friend. I don't need to know what he's saying, right?
He's so Irish though, so he's so Irish, dude. Could be part of it. Could be part of it. If it was Vin Diesel, you'd get every word, you know. It was, which, let's be honest, this maybe should have been Vin Diesel, but
at least it wasn't. Well, the problem with Vin Diesel, he doesn't want to be typecast as a fucking tree anymore. So he'd rather be typecast as a man that loves his family, but also
so, like, I don't want to be typecast. And they're like, all right, we're gonna mix Groot and the Iron Giant. Go. It's like, fuck you.
It did look like Groot. It did actually look like Groot.
I like that Vin Diesel. I like that Vin Diesel is like, I don't want to be typecasted, and yet he's advocating to make a fourth Riddick movie, and it's like, well,
dude, that is the joke. He doesn't want to be typecasted, but he does want to be a badass that loves his family.
So a monster calls. Family. A monster calls is, I don't know. I would say it's spectacular. Like it draws a nice fine line between both whimsical and morose. Like it's definitely got some whimsy there. There's some childlike wonder in there, but like the actual material is grim. This is not for kids. It's a really dark film.
Yeah. I mean, there is like when the tree is telling stories, and it goes into that animated stuff. Big fan of what was going on there.
Yeah, the animated stuff is the animated stuff in there was really great. And I even said to my girlfriend, I'm like, it's almost a damn shame that because this movie has so much live action, it can't be nominated for best animated. But shit, that looks good. Like the animation is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of like the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, but better. It's better than that.
I wouldn't make that comparison because that's fucking bad. But
yeah, I think that's from the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. I think that's a beautifully animated scene where they're talking about the Deathly Hallows. Sure. I just think that this is similar in art style, but done better.
Yeah. I would agree with that. It's for me. I mean, like this movie is just relentless misery, and like
it is.
Do I need that much relentless misery in my life? Maybe. I'm glad Liam Neeson was there to talk me off the ledge because I almost wanted to kill myself after seeing this one. Chad.
Like I said, it's grim, and this movie is certainly not for everyone. I loved it though. Like I was really enjoying it. Really enjoying the complexity of the whole thing, and just like the scene. There's like a scene near the end where the kid has to because the whole idea of the movie is that the monster shows up at 12:07 every night, and he tells them a story, and then after he tells them 3 stories, the kid has to tell him exactly how he's feeling. And like what his dream is, he has like a recurring nightmare and what the recurring nightmare is all about. And when you get to that part, grip on, man, because that is insanely captivating. That is insanely fascinating. And it is insanely, this movie's really human. And that's what I really like about it. It's very human.
Well, there definitely is an intense subtlety to the complexity of it. With this and Moonlight, we'll talk about in a bit. That I think really does capture
human spirit.
I think the way that it is portrayed is a little bit manipulative in this film. And,
sure.
I mean, I guess that's fine if that's what you're looking for, but it also doesn't lend to great filmmaking, in my opinion.
Although I'm not sure if
cliche filmmaking.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I 100% agree. I see where your line of thought is in this, where it's like it's manipulative and it's trying to force you to feel the same emotions as the characters, even if you don't. Like I see where you're going there. I don't know if I 100% agree though. Like I felt very morose.
I think in this more than any movie I've seen this year, it was trying to force me to feel something. Maybe Sully more probably because there's 9/11 imagery in it.
9/11. But yeah, I haven't seen Sully, but I don't know. I do agree that the movie purposely elicits like these negative emotions from the viewer. But in this instance, because it tackles such an interesting situation, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that you're supposed to feel morose for the character because it is something that you can relate to the real world, and it is a situation that you can actually apply to your own life. In most situations, most people know somebody who's struggled with cancer and struggled with knowing somebody with cancer. Like for instance, I am struggling with you having a tumor. In your face, so.
I totally get that, but it's one of those things where it's like that when they're using it as a plot device, I feel is tough for me to. I still think this is a great movie.
Yeah, I think we're nitpicking pretty closely
for the most part. But the problem, it rears its head once you try to use manipulation as a plot point. And that's it's been done worse.
Again,
sure.
I definitely see where you're coming from. Let's talk performances here.
Incredibly loud and incredibly. What was that movie? Incredibly close.
Yeah, incredibly loud and close. Yeah, wildly closer. Timothy Tom Hanks. Is that the kid? No, I don't think that was the kid. Was it?
No, what I'm saying is that movie is a worse offender of manipulating you.
Oh yeah,
that's because it's another 9/11 movie. The movie fucking
9/11. Let's talk performances. Sigourney Weaver, we've already discussed. She is good in this movie, as good as Sigourney Weaver is, but she can't do the British accent. Yeah, it's very tough, faint. Man. It's very faint.
The kid is good for sure.
Yeah, the kid is good. We've talked about it before, man. There are good kid actors, and this kid is definitely one of them. And yet we still get fucking terrible, shitty kid actors in terrible shit, like A Series of Unfortunate Events. Who else was that? Felicity Jones. Oh my God, there is a reason that lady has an Oscar, because she is so insanely good. Yeah. She's so good. And of course, like, I think this is the one that I want to talk about the most. Let's actually talk about Liam Neeson. This dude, this was the first time Liam Neeson ever did motion capture. And it was the first time. I actually watched like a little featurette on this movie. Because like, I'm going to say straight up, like, I love this movie so much. Liam Neeson, it was the first time he'd ever done motion capture. You couldn't tell because it was flawless. Like, it's really good. I also just kind of like the character. I think the character of the monster from this movie is really excellent.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He reminds me of the Ints from Lord of the Rings.
Because he's not like, here's the thing is that, like, when I saw the trailer for this film and like, it does look whimsical in the trailer. It does feel like it's going to be like an Iron Giant type thing where like this kid's dealing with hardship. So this guy sort of comes, like this imaginary friend will come and become his best friend and his greatest advocate. But it's not exactly like that. It's more, there's a lot of tough love in this movie, which I did not expect, where the monster is sort of like yelling at him to get his point across and quite cross. Like, it's very fascinating to see the relationship between the kid and the monster progress, because at first they despise each other, and that is not what I expected. They absolutely despise each other, and they actually don't like each other for most of the movie, and yet everything that the monster has to say is still relevant to what the kid is going through. It's very fascinating. I love this movie.
Well, what the stuff I do like is a lot of the interactions between the kid and the tree, and how their relationship develops. And some of the best lines in the movie definitely come from Liam Neeson, especially towards the end there, when
absolutely.
I don't really want to spoil anything, but he's like, "I'm here for you," right? That's when it's like, oh shit.
That's when you're like, oh fuck. No way!
See, that's where I was on board. But at that point, it's already like fucking 2 hours in. I'm like, God damn it. Why couldn't he be dropping lines earlier?
I love the niece. Either way, I think this is an extremely good movie, and I honestly think that I would 100% recommend this movie.
Oh, I do too. I just wanted to have some talking points. Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And
gotta fill some time.
I agree. Absolutely. That being said, I think you should all go see this movie. It is an absolute travesty that this movie got snubbed while fucking Jew-hating Mel Gibson's got a movie on the Best Picture line. What the fuck is that?
Yeah. That's
what is this shit?
It's
one thing I will.
It's weird. I'm kind of confused how a couple of these movies got through. Even.
Yeah. One thing.
Hell or High
note
Water
too
is like the one I'm most curious about because like that's just how is that? How's not going to be good? That's a fucking B movie.
Yeah. There's no way that that is good, right?
I don't know. I've heard good things about it, but like I thought that was all hearsay.
Yeah. Another thing that I also want to note is that J.A. Bayona, the director of Monster Calls, is directing the sequel to Jurassic World. So
Gotcha.
maybe I'm not holding out for it, but like might be
you
some
love
hope.
Jurassic World. Just be you'll be fine with it. I'm sure.
Yeah, I do like Jurassic World, but I do agree that it's pretty
yeah
devoid of substance.
I think if he throws some emotional manipulation onto the Raptors there, I might be on board.
All right, so are you ready to do one of the silliest fucking things we've ever done on this podcast?
What, the Liam Neeson fantasy draft? How dare you call that silly?
Liam Neeson fantasy draft. You fucking pitched this idea to me today, like while I was at work. Like you texted me this idea, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude, that's fucking incredible! That's gonna make."
Well, at first you're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I was so confused.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
now I see where you're going with this. We've now taken the top 5 and we've moved them. We've ascended the top 5 into something that's a lot more fun for me to play. So
another thing too is that like I want to mention is that we forgot to mention this last week, and I should have mentioned it. Is that Tristan of Impossible Gaming fame, which is my YouTube channel, has entered the celebrity death pool.
Absolutely,
which is exciting. So his picks for this year, I'll round them off real quick, are Sean Connery, that's a pretty good pick. I think I had Sean Connery last year. Hey,
yeah, I think you did.
Axl Rose, which is a good one because he's so drugged up and so fat. So like that's a double whammy right there. Courtney Love, she might Cobain herself real quick.
It's a good call.
Is that offensive to say about Courtney Love?
No, you can say Cobain.
Have I gone too far?
Yeah, it's been 23 years. You can say Cobain.
Tristan took Hulk Hogan, which I know pretty much all of us were debating.
Yeah, it's a classic pick, but I mean, he held strong last year, so
yeah. He took Neil Young, and he also took for his dark horse pick Daniel Radcliffe. That one on my in my opinion, that's a dumb pick. Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is gonna live forever. He's too famous. Too rich.
I'll run through Hardner's picks of Trek Epidemic fame and occasional co-host. He's got Chuck Norris, John Cleese, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Weird pick in my opinion.
Hold on, wait. Chuck Norris, John Cleese. John Cleese is a good one. That dude's got like fucking emotion.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnie.
Richard Murdoch.
Richard Murdoch, really? All right.
And I believe she's Judge Ruth Ginsburg.
No dark horse?
Amanda Bynes, baby.
Amanda Bynes. That's a good dark horse. Mm-hmm. Judge Ruth who?
Ginsburg.
Ginsburg. I'm just taking notes here.
Yeah.
Ginsburg, but I'll perfect that. Have you got the rest of Lexi?
Yeah, I do. Paul McCartney, Al Gore, Roseanne Barr, and the rapper Stitches as his dark horse.
Paul McCartney, Al Gore.
Al Gore. He wanted HW, but but it was too late. Al Gore. It
was too late. Too late. Mark already took HW, and that's a good pick because it sounds like that guy's definitely gonna die this week.
Yeah, HW is gonna fucking die. Roseanne Barr. He might be the first hit of the pool actually. Roseanne Barr and then rapper Stitches. So.
Roseanne Barr and Stitches. Stitches will die. Stitches will die.
Yeah, he might get shot. That might be a good
Yeah,
pick, actually.
that's a good drive-by. That's a good drive-by
Uh,
pick. But now let's go into our Liam Neeson fucking fantasy draft. This is
Fantasy
gonna be
draft.
insane.
So since I went first in the death pool draft, I let you decide if you want to go first or second. Second, the benefit is snake style, so you get picks. You get the second pick of the first round and the first pick of the second round. So, and you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
As much as I want that movie with the wolves, I got to go with Schindler's List, baby.
Oh, Schindler's. My boy took Schindler's List. Here's the thing, though, is that you just fucked up pretty bad. You fucked up pretty bad because my picks are going to be unreal. So Schindler's List, that's going to be Buckley Duke's number one. Schindler's List is fucking phenomenal. Of course, it's Liam Neeson.
Well, it's the best movie he's ever done, so I have to take it.
I'd say yeah, probably it is probably. I don't know. There's one movie that I would debate is a little bit better than Schindler's List, and it's actually going to be my first pick.
What do you got?
Baby, it's Batman Begins. Christopher Nolan on this shit.
I was debating it because I knew you'd take it, but then
Batman Begins, baby. Batman Begins. Christopher Nolan, best Liam Neeson movie in my humble opinion. It's actually so excellent. As a superhero movie, I've talked about this before, but as a superhero movie, it's quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would 100% recommend checking out Batman Begins, which brings me to my second round pick.
Your first pick of the second round. What do you got?
First pick of the second round, baby, it's The Gray.
Oh,
I'm taking The Gray.
Biscuit, you son of a biscuit.
Son of a bitch. Oh, hell yeah. The Gray is the most entertaining piece of anything I've ever seen in my life. It is so wacky and unbelievable. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, I gotta go with the movie for my second round pick. The movie that set up his career of dad flicks. I gotta go with Taken.
Ooh, Taken. That's a good second round pick, baby. That's a good second round pick. That's definitely on my list that I got here of movies that I want to take.
Sure.
Taken is dope.
For my first pick of the third round, I'm going to go with Star Wars Episode 1, Qui-Gon Jinn, baby.
Ooh, can't wait for that prequel that we're writing.
Yeah.
It's got a title. It's got a title, which we're not allowed to talk about. We're not allowed to talk about it, but it does have we have a title for it now.
Yep.
Let's just say the word Neeson is in the title. Can't say about
Yeah.
All right, so my first pick of the third round. I didn't think I would get this deep in my list so quick. But my next pick is going to be the movie we talked about today, A Monster Calls.
Okay.
Monster Calls.
That's a pick.
Absolutely, it is. I adore Monster Calls. What is that? That's my third pick, right?
That's your third pick. What is your first pick of the fourth round there, Chadley?
My first pick of the fourth round, once again, we already talked about this film today. It's Silence. Martin Scorsese's Silence.
My fourth round pick will be the animated film Ponyo.
Ponyo. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't think I've seen this. I might have watched it when I was a kid, but
No, you've never seen it. You would remember.
Have I never seen it?
Liam Neeson plays a fucking underwater fucking god, and it's amazing.
Hey, how many movies has Liam Neeson played God in? Like, because at this point, I think it's out of hand.
It's a lot, right?
It's a lot of them. Because for sure, Narnia, that Pilgrim movie that I talked about earlier, where he played Jesus, Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans.
No, for my last pick here, I do have I did write out a deep roster, and I am debating between the two. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Kinsey. I think I'm gonna have to go with Kinsey.
Oh, see, now that gives me 4 movies that I intended to use. We're gonna do honorable mentions, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna do honorable mentions. Okay, so for my number 5, I'm gonna take a movie that I've talked about several times on the show. I really love it. My number 5 is gonna be Love Actually. Love Actually, starring the Neeson, Colin Firth. But were there any movies that you had on your list that you had on like your 10 list that you didn't get a chance to talk about at all? Because I think
Gangs of New York. Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York's not that good though. Let's be honest for a second.
I like about 45 minutes of its 3-hour runtime. But the 45 minutes are the parts with Liam Neeson. So
my next pick would have been, had we continued going. My next pick would have been a movie that I think is incredibly underrated. It's called Darkman.
I've never seen that movie.
Dude, you never seen
I don't even know
Darkman?
what that movie is. No, I've never.
Holy shit, it's insane. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what fucking Darkman's about because it's the most insane shit ever.
Like
It's
I've seen a
about
lot of
this-
movies, but I don't even know what that movie is.
It's like it's an early superhero movie made by Sam Raimi,
Mhm.
where Liam Neeson is like a crazy scientist who's in like an accident, but before he's in an accident, he learns how to replicate people's faces, and so he fucking he replicates people's faces and then puts on crazy masks to do vigilante work. It's insane, dude. You gotta see it, dude. It's unreal. It's so
I'll be
good.
watching that at some point.
Another pick that I didn't get to talk about was Nonstop, which we actually reviewed on the show when it first came out.
Yeah, I
back in
like that one. I don't know if
2014.
it's draft worthy though.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fun. Like it's so much fun. Taken
Look,
was
if-
on here as well.
Once we get it, if we got into like the 10 picks, then it would get a little crazier, I think. But
But yeah, I really love Nonstop. Another movie that I had on my list that I was gonna pick. And I know you're not the greatest fan of this movie, but I just think the Liam Neeson character in this film is so great. That's the Lego Movie. He plays.
I don't really like that movie, to be honest.
Yeah, he plays. I love the Lego Movie. Like I think it is such an excellent film. But he plays good cop, bad cop, which is honestly, as far as characters in that movie go, it is the best use of the Lego property to create a character because you have the two sides of the Lego head. There's no other character in that movie that's that good. Maybe like the pirate who rebuilt himself. That's pretty funny, and that's a good use of Lego. But all the other characters are just Lego people with like famous people voices. And it's like, oh, this is just a Lego guy, and he's Chris Pratt. Oh, this is just a Lego guy, and it's Morgan Freeman. That's just a Lego girl. It's Elizabeth Banks. That's a Lego Batman. It's but like this is like the best use of like the idea of Lego, I think. Liam Neeson is good. Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I do agree. Liam Neeson is great in that movie, so that would have been a fine pick, I think.
What I love so much about that movie is that like when he's good cop, he's like doing Liam Neeson voice, but like when he's bad cop, he's doing Liam Neeson voice. But when he's good cop, he's like, "Oh hi, I'm Liam Neeson," doing like a high pitched voice, which you never hear the Nees do. It's so excellent.
Yeah, it's preposterous.
Nobody else could have
Some might
done
even
that
say
role.
it's preposterous.
It is
So,
absolutely.
That was the
fucking
2017 Liam Neeson fantasy draft.
Next year, I'm gonna snag Schindler's List. I'm dedicated.
I think that went pretty well. I got most of my picks that I wanted, so hey, I'm
Yeah,
not mad at that.
I got all of the picks I wanted except for I did want Schindler's List.
Yeah, I know you did.
I really wanted Schindler's List because people go
I
bananas.
wanted the gray, man. I wanted the gray. I think.
Yeah, I know you wanted
I might
the
have
gray.
I might have a stronger list though, Chadley. I don't know.
I don't think so. I absolutely do not think so. I got Batman Begins and The Gray. I got
Okay,
Batman.
you're banking a lot on that. I think as a whole, mine might be a little stronger. We'll see. We'll leave it up to the judges of Letterboxd.com. And
Yeah, absolutely. We'll discuss the results of that next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you want to talk about Moonlight?
Sure.
Sure is an Oscar film.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely meets the criteria.
This is the good people from A24 who we absolutely love. This is a super excellent movie. Like straight up going
it's
into
like, hey, did you ever want to see Boyhood but like good? Well,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I think of this movie. It is in fact Boyhood, but good. It's the same idea, but instead of getting the same kid, because here's the thing with Boyhood, they were really banking on that kid growing up to be a good actor, and then he didn't.
He wasn't. Here's where Barry Jenkins came in, and it's like, well, let's just get 3 really good actors, and it's like, okay,
yeah, all right, and then like fill in the blanks with other very good actors. Like, there's an amazing actor in this movie, and like, I hate to be a dick, but I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I don't want to be racist. But it's like Mara Harsala Ali, who plays the drug dealer, and he is super excellent.
Juan.
What's that?
Juan.
Juan? Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Juan. That's the name of the character. You're right. Absolutely. So what this movie is about is it's about a kid who lives in the ghetto, going through 3 different sections of his life. The first section is he's a kid. He's a bit of a wimpy kid. and he's got some feminine aspects to himself, and he's confused as to why. And that's a really excellent segment. In that segment is when he becomes friends with Juan, and that segment is when we are introduced to
Juan. He plays he plays the bad guy in Luke Cage, and he's like literally the best part of that show. Like he's so fucking good.
He's also in Hunger Games, but
I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that series. I blocked it out like a fucking early age beating.
Yeah, I don't remember much about I remember a lot about the first one. You know why? Because that one's good.
Oh, I remember. You know what I remember about the first Hunger Games? Woody Allen fucking trains her to use a bow for 45 minutes, and then she shoots the bow once.
Woody Allen, huh?
Woody. What is his name? Harrelson. Yeah.
Woody Harrelson. Yep. You're absolutely correct. But he was doing that so that she could use it in the other movies, and
Get the fuck out of here.
We don't care. Woody Harrelson, however, in the new Planet of the Apes movie, 100% fucking in.
Dude, we should we talk about that movie that he filmed live at some point? If it ever releases. He filmed a movie that he streamed live into theaters.
Dude, Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? Yeah, we should talk about that. What are you talking about? Of course we should.
We should have went to it. I completely forgot about it. Like it was a one night showing where he was in London and he just fucking filmed a movie on the streets live, streamed it live.
Dude, that's the most fucking insane thing ever. I love it. That's like I love that idea actually.
Woody Harrelson's badass, dude.
But Moonlight. Let's actually talk about this movie. Okay, so this movie is about here's the thing: is it like you take a look at the groups of people who aren't getting the rights that they deserve in the United States right now, and those would be homosexuals, African Americans, and of course women, which wasn't
probably throw women in there, but they weren't exactly featured in the film.
Yeah, they weren't featured in this. They're like, hey, we got a lot of problem with that. Got a lot of problem with gay rights and
covering
black
two
rights.
bases. You're good.
Yeah, they're covering two bases. So essentially, this movie's about a black kid living in, and like, here's the thing: is that like what I like about this movie is that it really portrays poverty-stricken America in a way that I haven't seen in a movie, and it really
you're gonna love American Honey.
American Honey. Ooh, I will not watch that, but
yes, you will. I will make you watch that.
Okay, well, then you're watching Trolls.
I already agreed to that.
But essentially this movie it does portray poverty-stricken America, like the ghetto and type of thing, stuff like that.
The whole culture of the thing, the toxic masculinity culture,
and
ghetto problem, which is why this movie is appealing to people.
And I saw a tweet today by a YouTuber, and he said something along the lines of, "Is like, hey, if you like, I can't believe people think there's oppression in America. If you can go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac meal, you're not oppressed." Well, I think that is fucking a retarded thing to say.
That's probably an unfollow in my opinion, but
yeah, that's clearly an incorrect thing to say. That just because you can go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac means, oh, you're not oppressed. I have several questions about that line of thought, because take a look at this movie, because this is a real thing that happens to.
Oh yeah, you just die there, Chadley. Just your video drop out. That's fantastic. That's really good for pod. That's real.
Am I dead?
No, you're back now.
Am I dead? Did I die?
Yeah, for a while there.
Oh, dude, that sucks. Rest in peace, me. But like, it's just such a poisonous mindset to have, because clearly there's oppression in America, especially after some of the shit that I've seen this past week. Clearly there's oppression in America. Fucking Donald Trump just signed a fucking bill blacking out communications to all scientists in the United States.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think things are about to get real grim over there, down there in the United States of America. I'm glad I don't live there, honestly.
See, that is the problem with politics, as they are, right? Like you have one side, then they do a bunch of work. The other side comes in and reverses it. You're not making any progress here. Like,
Yeah,
whether
it's
or
just
not you support either side doesn't really matter. You're not making any.
it's a game of
progress.
volleyball. It's volleyball.
Anyway, this isn't Abe Lincoln's Top Hat. This is not a political podcast, so we talk about film.
Yeah, absolutely. So
But,
Moonlight,
I do recommend, if you want to listen to a good podcast about politics, go listen to our friends over at Abe Lincoln's Top Hat.
is that a real podcast? I thought you made that
Sure
up on the
is.
spot.
No,
I'm like, that's a pretty
that's
good
real
podcast.
Good podcast. Yeah.
But Moonlight, it's got a lot of really great performances, but there is one performance in this movie that is absolutely stand out, astounding, just absolutely incredible, and that would be the performance given by James Bond veteran Naomi Harris. Holy shit, she is insanely good in this movie. She plays basically like the cracked out mom in this movie, like the kid's cracked out mom, and she is absolutely spectacular in this movie.
Yeah.
She's nominated for Best Supporting Actress, which doesn't surprise me at all because Jesus, is she ever good? Basically all of the kids who play like the different parts of the kid's life are also quite excellent. The young kid, the teenager is really good.
The one I was really impressed with, I actually really like the adult.
The adult, you know, I thought that he was strong as well. I didn't think he was as strong as the teenage kid though.
I think I thought, because this movie relies a lot on the silences and the subtleties of the acting, and I think the adult version was a lot better at capturing that, especially.
All right, I'll agree with that. Yeah, absolutely, I'll agree with that.
May have come down to experience. I don't really know. I just thought he was particularly impressive in his portrayal of this character, especially in a film that just lasts in those long silences, just an uncomfortable, just like I almost had a stroke from all the fucking quiet isolation. I believe I described it as.
What's good about this movie is that the whole movie really is about this kid in the ghetto trying to come to terms with the fact that he's gay, and like I don't want to give too many spoilers, but like the truth of the matter is that he never does, right? And like I think that's
why I think appeals about this movie is it's more of just the bigger theme of trying to find yourself and how you maybe never will.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something that you just have to deal with, right?
It's just something. It's something that you think about, but you never say, and that's what I really like about this movie. And the guy who plays the adult version of his friend Kevin, that dude's so good. He's so good in this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
That final scene, there's like a final scene that just brings this really emotional intensity that I haven't seen in a while. I can see why people say this is one of the best movies of the year, because it is.
Yeah, I would totally agree.
This movie is incredible
from a film making standpoint too. Just like the use of light is like
the use of light is insane. It's fucking
particularly interesting.
I haven't seen anything like it this year, but it's also my only problem with it is that it's not very dense. Not a whole lot happens in it. Which is fine, but the movie's 2 hours. So I don't think it's so weird, because I think the movie is exactly the way that it should be.
Well, I agree. I would not change anything about it, but it does seem like there could be something else there. But I mean,
it could either be longer or shorter, and I don't think I would have been mad at either.
Because it's not really a movie about building that character, right? It's more about his journey, so it doesn't really matter.
It's not exactly a narrative
along the way. So I mean, as long as you hit the important plot points, I think it's one of those movies where things just happen, and I mean that's fine. It is great as it is.
Also, we've mentioned many times that films have 3 acts. This one's not that subtle about it.
No, it's got title cards.
It's got title cards to let you know when the next act starts. The 3 acts have titles. They're called Little, Chiron, and Black, all of which are great. Chiron being, I honestly believe, the standout chapter of the film.
Which one?
It's Chiron. It's the one that has I feel like the most struggle. It's him as a teenager.
Yeah,
it's him as a teenager. It showcases the most struggle and the most realization. Whereas like the first part,
he gets jerked off. So you know that's good. You like seeing that.
Jesus Christ!
I wish there was more witch fingers. I like that. That really would have put it over the edge, in my opinion, if there's a bit more witch finger in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? They could have thrown in some witch finger. Unhappy ending. Loved it. Unhappy ending.
Life doesn't end happy usually, so.
Yeah, absolutely. You live.
This is realistic. This is Barry Jenkins' life, man.
Yeah, as the great
sucks.
Vince McMahon puts it, life sucks and then you die.
Powerful Vince McMahon.
Fucking Vince McMahon. Can't believe I just quoted Vince McMahon in a fucking Moonlight review.
He doesn't like when people sneeze around him.
Not even a fucking real movie critic. I should get. Yeah, I like that. There's actually a video of the current president of the United States beating the shit out of Vince McMahon.
That's
pretty good.
that, dude.
That's pretty good in my opinion.
It's pretty good. Pretty GD good.
Do I think that Moonlight is the best movie of the year? Probably not. If this movie were to win the Oscar, I wouldn't be mad at it. I also don't think I would be overly excited. I do think that this movie has a message to tell, and I think that's a good thing. I just think that like we got to a point where people realize that if you have a message to tell in your movies, that it's more likely to win Oscars. So they tried to pump a lot of it into this one.
Yeah, I don't think this movie was made with intentions of going to the Oscars. It's a low budget affair that went to film festivals and didn't even get released until Oscar time. So
fair enough. It's very artsy. It does have a message to tell. It does.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the podcast then. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back next week with some more movie talk.